Thank you very much. Yes, we should talk a little bit about, continue about the goalkeeping that we started yesterday. And I will start talking a little bit about the numbers, the conclusions, but why I'm working the way I'm working and what I'm seeing in the future. So if you look at the goalkeeping from London, comparing and with Beijing from 2008, we can see that some changes. There are fewer shot attempts. In Beijing, for men's, there were 4,131 shot attempts. This is the official statistics from the IHF. It's not mine, it's the official one. I've not been counting all the shots. Then we can see we have 7 shots less per game from the men's competition, and we have 10 shots less per game from the women's competition. For me, it's a big downfalling in these cases. And looking what is going on target. On target is the shots that the goalkeeper have to be saving or getting goals. So we have in the Olympics in London, we have 39 shots. The average for the goalkeepers in the men's competitions, and we had 38 shots for the women's competition. It's 6 and 7 shots less than we had in the Beijing for each game. So it's a huge going down in the shots per game. But if you look also with this, we can see in the men's competition, now I continue just with the men's competition really because I didn't have time enough to study the women's competition. I was working with other things. But looking at the men's competitions, we can see that we have less fast breaks. We have 222, 35% less fast breaks attempts comparing with Beijing 4 years before. We have less line player attempts. And we have less 9 meters attempts. But what we have more is wing shots. So when we are planning for the goalkeepers, the training, it's important to show, think what is really necessary to practice for the goalkeepers. So we have, for looking at the percentage of saves overall, the men competition is the same and the women also the same. We have a goalkeeper average for 33% of saves of the shots is going on target that goes to the goalkeepers. And we can see in Beijing, the best was in the men's competition was 37. And the worst or the less good goalkeeper had 24%, and the women's it was 41-27. And now we can see in the men's and the women's competition the best goalkeepers, the teams. I'm not looking for the best goalkeeper. The goalkeeper team had 39% of the saves. So we can see it's very similar between the women and men, and we can see it's also a big difference between the best goalkeeper teams and the goalkeeper teams that is not so good. As you can see, the best team in men had 39%, and the team with less efficiency had 20%. The same in women were 39-21. So there you can see it's a big difference between the good goalkeepers and the good goalkeepers that is not in the same level as the top goalkeepers in the world. If you make, looking now at the number from London, it's interesting. This part for me is the most interesting thing to analyze. And as we don't have so much time, I just make it in the big matter. We can see from 9 meters, the shot from long distance, it's, we have 42% of the shots that is shooting on the target is coming from long distance. In both men and women, that is inside the parenthesis what's happened in Beijing. It was the same in the men's, that what we can see in the female and women competition, that we now have a little bit more power, more shots from long distance, shooters. like I told yesterday, that also the women competition, they are getting stronger, they're getting higher, they're getting more power into the shooting. And if you're looking at the 6 meters, the shots, what we were talking this morning, when Mr. Taborski was saying the 1-against-1 situations. This is for me one situation that we are training a little bit apart, because we are talking about the 6 meters, it's about the pivot player, the line player, it's about the fast breaks, it's about the breakthroughs and the 7-meter shots, when we have no defender between me and the shooter. So there we have, in the men's competition this year, we had 41% of the shots was coming from this position. And the women 43%. And I have it, there as you can see, it's going down. We have 6 and 5% less shots from these positions. And as you can see, as I said in the beginning, we can see in the men's competition now 16% of the shot is coming from the wing shots. It's we're going up with 11% comparing with the last competitions. So this is numbers that is very interesting for me to know when I should practice with my goalkeepers, when I can see what kind of shots should I prepare them for, what kind of situation will come for them. So out of this, I will make my goalkeeper strategy, because this is always the things when I try to analyze. As I said yesterday, we have to see why. What are we preparing the goalkeeper for? What is the purpose with the training? And like we told, we were talking yesterday about the strategies. We have been talking yesterday and these days about the tactical part of the goalkeeping, not the technical, not the physical part. I was showing a little bit yesterday some exercises that we can use also during the training in the coordination and the core strengths. But in the strategy, this is the most important part for me to analyze what is really happening. How is the shooter shooting? Taran Dushibayev said yesterday about one question that not so many coaches are thinking about this, but we, the goalkeeper trainers, are thinking about this. How the shooter are shooting. Is it using the shoulder, or is it using just the arm? Or from the elbow and down? Because it's a big difference to say, when I was playing, it was easier for me to make saves from the shooter from the Nordic countries, from the north of Europe, because the tradition of the north style, of the European style, is shooting with the shoulder. You give much more information to the goalkeeper to save the ball. When we are playing against the former Yugoslavian and Balkan countries, they have a tradition that they're just shooting more with the elbow and the wrist of the arm. We have more problems to save these balls because we are not used to it. It's more complicated to see where the ball is coming in the goal. So that is also important to know about the strategies when we are analyzing the shots. Not only where they are coming from which position, it's also important to see how is it really shooting. I'm using a scouting system where I analyze the games and I analyze almost all the shots I can see, and I'm making some statistics out of it to see for the future also, and also when I'm working with my goalkeepers. And I have some parameters there that are saying if they're shooting with right hand, if they're shooting with left hand, if they're shooting crossed, if they're shooting straight. But that's important for me to have a database to see really how many shots is coming from this position and this part of the goal. Is it shooting with a shot? Is it shooting with a crossed shot? Is it crossed straight shot? It's not only to put the finger in the air and look and see what is happening. We have to analyze it. So the goalkeeper strategy is a lot of things that go inside this part. What is coming out is, first of all, for me, it's 3 parts when we're talking about goalkeeping. We have the pre-action, and the pre-action is the situation like we were talking yesterday about the pre-positioning, when the goalkeeper is making the movements in the goal. When the ball is going from one part for another part, when the attacking players are putting the team into a tactical position. And that is when we are making the pre-positioning. We are moving around to try to be in the right position in the right moment. Then, after pre-positioning is where the real attacker is coming from the shooter. Then I have to go into position. And that is what I was saying yesterday. It's the most important part. We have very excellent goalkeepers now. I think if you're talking about the good goalkeepers, that there's 39% compared with the 20%, most of the difference is in this part. The pre-positioning and the positioning. To be in the right situation, in the right position when the shooter is coming to make a shoot. If it is with a block or if it is 1 against 1. But this part of the game is very, very important. The second part of this part is the action. The action is when the shooter has taken a decision to shoot and the goalkeeper knows now the ball will leave the hand and I have to be in an action. First of all, we have the preparation. What I said yesterday, after I go to positioning, I put myself in the right position where I think is the right position as the goalkeeper, where the ball will be, the shooter will come. Not where the ball will be coming, where the shooter will be coming. I put myself in the right position to make my save. And now I go to the preparation. That's what I said, it's like an animal who's going to be attacking another animal, or doing whatever, or a boxer. When a boxer is going in to make a punch, he puts himself in a position and then he makes the punch. The goalkeeper has to make the same. We have to go into preparation, we have to make the muscles tense, and now I can action. And then the action is the movement, where we make the save. And there is a big difference also between action and correction. Big difference between the good goalkeepers and not so good goalkeepers. Everybody, goalkeepers, are making actions. Some of them are making actions, but they have learned making repetition and repetition. And we, like I said yesterday, they can be hit by the ball a lot of times. Some is better to make some good actions and they are hit by the ball. But the really good goalkeepers, they make the action and then they can make the correction of the action. Because if you start to make an action, to make a save, and the ball is not coming exactly where you thought that you've been training it, the ball should be coming, then you have to make a correction of your movement. And we can see sometimes goalkeepers that is very tentative and they have no possibility to make a correction of the movement. If they go out with the arm, they're fixed with the arm. And that arm is fixed there. If the ball is coming a little bit upward, the ball passes through. If it goes a little bit under, the goes through. But a good goalkeeper go out with the arm and can make the correction because the ball was not coming exactly at the position. That is also a lot of training, coordination in that part. In the post-action, the goalkeeper should be the first offense starter. We can see a lot of games where the goalkeeper is the most important player in the starting of the offense play. It's important to say here in this part that if you not only thinking about the long pass, it's also important to have a strategies how, if it's not a long first throw, direct counter-attack, for the second wave, for the third wave that is coming, that the players can know that the goalkeeper don't have to just pass the ball 5 meters. The team has to go up to at least half court, so we have to have good goalkeepers can make the pass at least 20 meters to make a good pass and also see which player is in the best position to receive the ball. It's sometimes we also see goalkeepers that are not aware of what has happened in defense. Because if you have a wing shot and you make a save from the wing shot, and then normally that wing player who shot, he's laid back. And then I as a goalkeeper, I have to be thinking, he was shooting, I made a save, I have the ball here, he is late, okay, it should be easier that we can attack on that side. So they will be missing a defender on that side for the other team. So I shouldn't pass the ball here. Maybe I should start to look at that side, that maybe it's a better possibility to find something free on that side. So it's important also that the post-action, that the goalkeeper start to look forward and have the intelligence to start the attack for the team. To finish this, I want to show you a little bit videos from the Olympics, from different situations. I think and I hope that everything of this will work as I hope. And we should start here. First of all, three kinds of saves from 7 meters. First one, for me in the 7 meters play we have two parts, two kinds of saves. We have one save. If you go into a situation in 7 meter shots as a goalkeeper, you can't go in there without any strategy. If you just stay and wait and try to save the ball, you're out. No chance. No chance. It's too close, they are too good, and it's you don't have time to react. You can a lot of times see goalkeepers, oh, it was close, oh, it was close, I was there. Because he was looking at the shooter and you try to take the decision when the ball is leaving, and the ball has passed by and you're coming in 1/10 of a second too late. So there are two kinds of saves, or two kinds of strategies. One of strategy is what we can see from the Danish player and the Danish goalkeeper, that he is playing with information. It's typical that he has information from where this player, the Spanish players, normally makes the shots. You can see he's waiting, it's not almost making nothing. And in that moment, he has the information before that he will probably shoot up to the right. One kind of information you have to use and work. Another kind of information, or if you don't have information, or in this case the Swedish goalkeeper, he had 2 or 3 goals now from the shooter. So the strategy that he was using, that information, didn't work. And what he's doing now, he's faking. He's finting with the shooter. He's not just standing there, he's doing something. He's making a little bit of work with him, and he got him to shoot where he wants him to shoot. He's taking the initiative, and he's taking the position of the shooting. So this is another kind of technique you can use as a goalkeeper against the shooter of the 7 meters, to be you that take the initiative in this situation. And the last one I want to show you about 7 meters is not, I hope it should start. Why doesn't it start? Always the technique. Here it should come. The importance of the goalkeepers. This is, look at the time, 29:46. 27:26, Iceland is leading about Hungary. It's 14 seconds left of the game. It's a quarterfinals in the Olympics. And this 7 meter throw favor to Iceland. Goal and the game is over. Let's see what's happening. Save, counter-attack, boom, boom, goal. 57. And then we can see the importance of the situation, and now there will be extra time, and in extra time Hungary will win, and Iceland is out, and Hungary go further on. This will be a good repetition here. I will talk about 2 things here. I can see we can jump forward, because I want to reach the repetition. Here the Icelandic team is very sad. Here. First of all, we can see it's a great save from the goalkeeper. Very good save. He's go up with the arm and leg in the position where the ball is coming here. It's a great save. I think he's working also with information about the player who's shooting the game where he normally making the shot. It's a good save, but I will also talk about this situation. This is not a good save. If I'm a coach of the Icelandic team, I'm not so happy about this goalkeeper. Why? How can you be that much? Because I think this goalkeeper has good possibilities to make a save here. He has a very good possibility. Because, like I said yesterday, these players in a stressed situation, they are not intelligent. Because this player is scoring. but he's shooting where I think that the goalkeeper should close. He's making a shot straight from the Olympics. Different kinds of saves from the goalkeepers. We do it in one row, and then we can maybe... Here we have a good position of the goalkeeper, that's important. You can see here, we have, like you said before, good players. We have the pass from the center to the wing, and the goalkeeper is getting into the position, and from that he wants him to shoot in the short corner, and he saves. Good save. Here we have also good goalkeeper. They're coming in the second wave of the counter-attack. The ball is coming out to the wing. The goalkeeper goes into the position. And what I'm calling the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule is very simple. The 80-20 rule is the goalkeeper is making the strategy that it's 80% of possibility the ball will come in the long side and 20% the ball will come in the short. So he never goes with two hands and all the body for one side. He go with one leg and always have one part of the pedal left to make the correction. He's making an action correction. He's making a correction with the left arm to save the ball, that the ball is coming under 20% possibilities that the ball is coming. A good save. I think there will come a repetition, that is why it's going slow. So you can see him, he's coming here, he's going out, getting up for the long shot, but he has the arm in the short corner. Here we can also see one thing from the Swedish goalkeeper that I like. You can see the position of the arms. It's not symmetric. It's very important that the goalkeeper is working with the arms in different positions. They can't be both up and both down. Here we can see him make a save with the arm, taking it down and taking it with the arm. It's important to see that the goalkeepers are working in a symmetric way with the arms in these saves. Good save also. My friend was not so happy. But here you can see it from the backwards, how he goes out and makes it the save with the arm. We will have two more saves here. It's also important. Look here at the Spanish goalkeeper, the same. Sometimes it's important that the goalkeepers, we have a regular position, like I said yesterday. It's important that the goalkeepers have a high level of the techniques. When you reach the level, like Hombrados in Spain, he's a good goalkeeper, then he can take it down again and make, like here, feinting with the shooter. So here he makes movements with the shooter to make him shoot where he wants to have him finally. Acting, he's acting, okay, it was a half. He's acting in the wing position. And we have the same here with Arpad Stervik from Spain also, Serbian Spanish. And he's also a special character as a goalkeeper. He's making a lot of saves because he has a different technique, but he knows how to play the regular play, but he also using these techniques that's very complicated if you don't have the skills like Arpad Stervik. This is nothing I will say to you, if you train your goalkeepers normally, you should not start with this technique. When you can make normal technique, then you can go over to this extra. This is extra. And the last one from the wing shots, the same. Hombrados, with the knowledge of the player, is going in, closing, and having one arm over the head to waiting for the shot. The coaches are very preoccupied. Let's see for the next ones. We have here some penetration shots where we can see Here is one more example, except this is a good example comparing with the Icelandic goalkeeper. If the Icelandic goalkeeper had made the same movement, the same intensity, the same power in the movement as the Swedish goalkeeper is doing here, he had saved the ball. Can you see the difference between the two? They're making the same movement, but one is doing it with power, confident that he will save the ball and I go out for the ball. The other one is doing it, waiting that the ball should hit him. Here, the same Swedish goalkeeper, he is not doing it so well. Here's the problem, that he's not looking at he's not fixed to the ball. He's going with the same movement, but here's the left-hander, and the left-hander is shooting the straight shot. He's not shooting crossed. So in this case, he should make the movement with the right leg, not with the left leg. He's making a bad movement in this case. What I was talking yesterday, a little bit about the penetration between the first and second. Look at the goalkeeper. We have the initial position very close to the line. This is what most goalkeepers is playing today. Very close to the line. And when you have a penetration between the first and second, they don't attack so much. He's waiting. He's waiting close to the line, letting the shooter shoot to the short corner, and he stopped the ball at the short corner. And I think it's with the same goalkeeper here, when he takes the decision on the other side, when you have a penetration, and he can see that this player is getting better with the angle, so he can shoot on the long, and then he's coming out in the penetration. So this is very important when we're talking about the positioning. He's getting into the good position. The working with the legs before the shooting, coming into the right situation and take the right decision. We have also here some shots from the pivot, from the line player. And this for me is an excellent, this is instruction video, how to act as a goalkeeper in the line player shots in the middle. As you can see, in the initial position, the goalkeeper is looking around, standing very close to the line. You see the ball is coming out to the player. Look at this. When the pass is going from the player, Kim Andersson, to the pivot player, he is starting to move out, to get into the position, and now he is in the position. And now when the Swedish players are turning around, he is in the right position and waiting for him. He is coming 1/10 of a second before the Swedish player. And now he's waiting for him to shoot what the player is doing a lot of time when they are tired, shooting straight. And the right straight shot is coming where he's waiting. It's made for instruction. I think that this video you have seen before, but this time we should talk about Stervik. We should not talk about Karabatic with a wonderful pass. And we have a top-class shooter from France. And it looks like it's an extremely good save, and so it's a good save. It's a very good save. But if we analyze this shot from the shooter, it's not a good shot. If I'm a coach for the French team, I said to him, I would show him the video and say, why are you shooting there, man? You go up with the arm, you have the arm up here, and you're shooting in the same direction, straight forward. Arpad Stervik is a good goalkeeper. He's making an excellent save. But you can't never shoot with the arm in the same way. You do it. That's what we goalkeepers knows, and that's why he's making a good save. He knows that he will shoot there, up there, because they have a high arm. Everything was straight. So he's going up and makes a good save. Very spectacular, yes. But it's also the technique from the shooters are sometimes not so good. We will have here the same. We have a goalkeeper that's coming a little bit late into the situation, but he's making a good save because he's attacking hard. In the middle of position of the and here we also have the same position as the Arpats derby. The shooter is going up with a high arm, trying to shooting over the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper is there saving it. It's a good save, but it's not an excellent, because it's not so good shooting. Okay? But this is, if we as coaches can learn the goalkeeper to save these straight shots, we have higher than 33%. We are, because of a lot of shot is coming this way, it's straight shots. Okay, there was no need to see that because it's a discussion about the referees. We have two shows about the counter-attacks. This is also Danish goalkeeper Landin, one of the big future goalkeepers. He's a young still, and he's an excellent goalkeeper technically, and when he will getting older and older, he will have an excellent performance with experience. If you look at the goalkeeper in this situation, when we're coming in a counter-attack, how he's first finding the positioning. And when the player is shooting, look at him, he's not attacking him, he's a little bit going backwards. Little bit going backwards with him. There, now he's going backwards, closing the possibility for him to shooting over him. Normally, the old-fashioned style of goalkeeping is that we always was attacking. Now the goalkeeper, we are playing with more brain, we're playing more with the space of attacking, going forward and backwards, and having this kind of saves. Very good save also from Landin. Excellent goalkeeper. I think it will come repetition. Here it comes. Of course, you have also information about where the players normally shoots. Thierry Omeyer, maybe the best goalkeeper, the quickest goalkeeper in the world. That is one of the points why he's so good, because look at the save that he's doing here. The shooter is shooting where he expects him. He's getting into the right position, as it is here, putting himself into the position, waiting for the player, and then he knows that they have a big possibility that he will shoot in long corner in the middle height. And look at the quickness of his legs. That's impressive. Tough. If you can learn the goalkeepers to be the same quick, it's a lot of things wrong. We can go further on. We should. I didn't have it here. No. I will show you. We go. How are we time? Is it okay? It's okay. Okay, we go further on with the jump shots. And here we can see some collaboration between the goalkeeper and the defense. It's important for the goalkeeper to see and look at the position of the goalkeeper in the goal, how close to the line he is, and how we can read the shooter, that he just can shoot in one part of the goal, and there is to stop the ball. That's an old classic way of working together between the shooter or the defender and the goalkeeper. Another way from the other side, Albert Stervik, can see that Jerome Fernandez. It's also information, because it's very complicated for a right-hand shooter in this situation shoot on another place that will not be on this part of the goal. And with the help of Viramiros, they can make the stop of the ball. This is one thing we were talking about yesterday. if you're looking at the goalkeeper, one hand save, that he's going a little bit backwards. He's not going forwards and stop the ball. And we are talking about one of the best shooters in the world. That is Mikkel Hansen from Denmark. And the goalkeeper, he's not continue forwards. He's continue a little bit backwards with one arm save, so we can take the ball. Here he comes. This, sometimes I say, there are no bad ways to save the ball. The important thing is to save the ball. Here is Mikkel Hansen is making an excellent shot. I think he's doing this a propósito, thinking that he will make this shot because it's the end of the game and he has to shoot. And he makes it with a little bit technique, not so far hard, and trying to fool the Swedish goalkeeper. And he has to make a football save. So that's what we're talking about, a good example of correction. He was going one way, but he was making a correction and going back and making a football save. So that is also good physical preparation for the goalkeeper. Here we have the Danish goalkeeper. He's playing in the Stanic way. I was very impressed of Stanic, the Serbian goalkeeper, during the European Championships. And I have not had time yet to analyze his actuation here during the Olympics. But when I saw these saves from landing, we will see two of them. We are talking about Kim Andersson, one of the hardest shooters in the world, playing in Kiel in the Bundesliga in Sweden. He's going up here and he's shooting with full power, and he takes the ball with two hands and the chest behind. Counter-attack and goal. Look, and now in the next attack, we are talking two consecutive attacks. What will happen? Kim Andersson is angry, okay, next one. Next one, two shots in a row, and the goalkeeper is taking it, poof. It's impressive, really impressive. But you can see how the goalkeeper is going with the analyzing, how he's moving in the line, and it's very good technically and strategy playing. Now, stopping this video here, you can see the face of Kim Andersson. He was not so happy. I think he was also impressed of the goalkeeper in that moment. Here, I think I have some shots also that they're scoring goals, because it's not always, even if you think and you know where the ball is coming, it's not always so easy to save the ball. I think in reply we will see what I mean here. Even a goalkeeper in Omaye, sometimes it's not time enough to make the saves. Here is another one that we can see that is coming goals, and sometimes the ball is coming so fast so that even if you have a good cooperation with the defender, in this case it's not so good because he's shooting where the goalkeeper thinks that the player is having the position. But there's so much power in this shot, so it's almost impossible to save. Here we have another one. Even if you try to make a block and you try to make it as good as possible, here, this is a very intelligent shot of Mikkel Hansen. It's almost impossible for the goalkeeper to save it because he's going up on the defender and he's turning it around. When we're talking about the technique from the shooters, this is one of the techniques that is very complicated for the goalkeeper when they're going up and shooting around the defender. Excellent from Mikkel Hansen, from the shooter. And here is one more when it's coming with the power, maximum power. And one of the big problems here is he's coming with one step. He's receiving the ball, one step up and shoot. And like we was training yesterday, here, what I want to show here is what we was talking afterwards a little bit. The ball, when they're coming in the middle, when we have the highest player in the defense, normally, the ball is coming over the shooters. He's shooting here between his hands, over his arms, but it's coming upwards in the goal, because it's almost impossible for the shooter also to take down the ball. So it will have to come upwards. Another one from Mikkel Hansen, just to show him the qualities of the shooter. And now here it's the same. We can see how he's going up, taking down the arm and shooting around the defender. This is things that we have to work with the goalkeepers to be even better for the future. Okay, we can let this go here, and I should just make a little bit without any big comments, because we have been talking so much about men's handball. I just want to show you a little bit from my two girls from the Norwegian team. Some of the saves that I'm talking with them about, and we are preparing for the future. Different saves on the goalkeeper. As you can see, these goalkeepers, female goalkeepers, we are acting exactly the same way as the men's goalkeepers are doing. So I just let it run without so much talking about it. Sometimes, of course, I have to say something. As you can see, this goalkeeper is very similar to what the men's Swedish goalkeeper, the style, the school, because a lot of times we can talk about 2 or 3 different schools, especially the Nordic school and the Europe and the Balkan school. No? But I think that every day is coming closer and closer to each other. I'm learning a lot from the Balkan school, and sometimes I think the Balkan school is also learning a little bit from us, from the Nordic school. But as you can see, we have also impressive goalkeepers in the female handball. It's not only the men's that is the famous one, but also in the female handball we have very good goalkeepers technically and strategically. And this is something what happens sometimes in these situations. Let's see if we can have it go, speed up. Okay, we got the next one. Speed up. There. As you can see, attacking, playing everything like normal. We can only take the rest of them. Okay. Coming out in the position, right position, make small saves, not so good big movements. The same as at Arpad we can make with the female goalkeepers also. Coming out, up with the leg, make a good save. Another one, exactly the same as the French team, but in the female with the Spanish against the Norwegian goalkeeper. Which you can see it on the same way. Wing shots, small movements, going with the shooter, close the angle, waiting for the shooter. The most important thing is go to the right position, be waiting for the shooter, be there before the shot is coming. Waiting, make the save. And when you are good, and you know you're good level, you can make these different kind of saves. Counter-attack, which you have to be also aware of, a little bit what could happen. This is a study before on the videotapes. They can see that Cheese was shooting a lot of times in this way. Standing in the right position, not making too big movements when it's not necessary. Some 7 meter saves, the same as with the men's. Tactically used more in the female handball than standing on the line. And as the Swedish goalkeeper, making feinting and have the shooter to shoot where you want them to shoot. To do it to you, it's a small introduction to the world of goalkeeping, because as we say a lot of times, it's so many different parts. And like I said a lot of times here, what I'm trying to showing you these days is the strategically, the tactical part of the goalkeeping, not the technical, not the physical part. The thinking here is to have the goalkeepers to think, not be the person that was put into the goal to just to be there. Okay, any questions? Yes.
Sir, you said that an old-fashioned way between the defender and the goalkeeper. What do you mean with the old-fashioned way, and what is the new-fashioned way?
Yeah, the old-fashioned way is that, like you say, the defender was making a block, that we just were jumping right up and trying to say, because the shooters for 15 years ago when I was playing, they was not so good. Today they are better. It was more easier to be a good goalkeeper in my times, because the shooter was not so good with the arms and the changing direction of the shooter. So the shooter was just coming up and you had a block and they were shooting straight on side of the players. And nowadays, if you, as a block, just go straight up with your arms, a lot of times the good players, use the defender to shoot around it and make the life more complicated for the goalkeeper. So today, I think the more modern way of making a block, and that is sometimes a problem with the referees, because you must have a block more like a volleyball. If you see a volleyball player that goes off with a block, he's attacking the ball. He goes against the ball, not go back with the arms just to make a straight. You have to attack the ball. And yesterday I didn't have time to make this kind of exercises in the training, but we also do that, and we go up and we have to, as a defender, attack the ball. And sometimes will happen what happened, that you can go further on with the arm and you hit the player in the face, sometimes when he shoots and you have 2 minutes, or a red card. So it's also training to be attacking the ball, but not continue with your arm. So it's a little bit different. Before it was just straight up, now it's more volleyball if you want to be a good defender.
More questions?
Thank you, sir. Now we have many variables to prepare the goalkeeper. Please, what is the most important factor to success?
Oh, most important, I'd say something. I always say I do it the way of physical, technical, tactical preparation. But I can also say sometimes I can see goalkeepers that is very good tactically. It's like you have a good playmaker. You can see the difference between a good playmaker and a normal playmaker, because a good playmaker like Balic, he can play because he has different view. And sometimes you have goalkeepers that is having this kind of view, but they're not physically preparation. Then it's easy. Because it's easier to make a good physical preparation of a person than to make a good tactical preparation. Because of some goalkeepers, you can see they're excellent shape, they're excellent, but they're not good goalkeepers because they don't have the way of strategically think about it. So it's very complicated to say which is the most important. You have to make an individual analysis of the player, and say, this player, he has a good tactical view, and I have to make him good physically and technically. Or I can see he is very good physically, and I have a very good, then I have to work a lot of shooting like I did yesterday, that he can learn, reading the body language of the shooters, see a lot of videos, make some explanation for him to take the balls that you can say, the balls, like I said, the keeper should save. So it's a little bit depending on what kind of goalkeeper, but that's why I say it's not easy to say do this and do this and do this. I try to give a little bit of tools so you as a coaches can use it on your goalkeeper, see what kind of goalkeeper do I have, what should I train him in, what should be better, and how can I continue. So I'm sorry, I can't give you a simple answer, what should you start, where should you start.
There is time for one more question. Yes. What is the best position goalkeeper must be where the ball is coming from an angle?
From an angle?
Yeah.
For me, as you can see, the Norwegian goalkeeper, Kari, the girl who is here, this goalkeeper, this was the best goalkeeper in the Olympics 2012, and this was the best goalkeeper in the Olympics 2008. So we are very lucky in Norway to have the best goalkeepers. But this goalkeeper has told her before the Olympics, you are the best goalkeeper in the wing shots in the world. Why? Because she has the best position of everybody. She goes to the post, take one step, half meter forward, half meter to the angle, waiting for shooting. So the best position is to be, I say, 40 centimeters from the post, a little bit on the angle, and then you have to find the position where the shooter are. You should not go too far away, because when you're standing in the goal, if this is the goal and you're standing in this post here, and if you go too far away, you have, the goal is 3 meters. So if you go far out, you have 4 or 5 meters to the second post. They can shoot over you can make a lob. And so that's very important that we don't go too far away. You can't go too far out. So it's important to find the position close here, depending also the angle of the player, if it's going wide angle, small angle. And then there's also, we can say, difference. Today there are 2 kinds of shooters also from the wing shooters. There are the wing shooters that go out to the wide angle, and you have wing shooters that are jumping close to you. Some of them, they don't want to go to more wide angle. They're jumping very close to you, and they're putting the ball nearby you because it's close, and they use it in the position that the reaction of the goalkeeper is very complicated when they're close. Okay.
It was an equal time, so we have to be fair to give a chance to
Okay.
Just one question, nearly the same question, but regarding the goalkeepers, for example, in Europe, most of Europe, you have goalkeepers 2 meters, maybe more, and then most of our region, our goalkeepers are more smaller.
Yeah.
I think the same, we should, yesterday you said the goalkeeper should work on the same side, but I think for the small goalkeeper, shouldn't he go further outside to catch the ball?
No, because we have the same problem. Because I say a lot of times, talking about the pivot player, for example, if you have a high pivot player, you can't attack him so hardly if you're not long. Because if you're like Sterbik, you can go out on him 2 meters and I can go up on him. But if you go too close to a shooter is high, he will shoot over you. With the ball, we are talking about 3 dimensions. We're not talking about 2 dimensions. We're talking about the 3rd dimension that's going over you. Because the goal is 2 meters high. So if I go too close to you and you're jumping up, you shoot over me. But the ball has to come anyway closer to me. So if I can always reach the 2 meter. Because the ball can never come over 2 meters. If it's over 2 meters, go over the goal. But if I go out here and you are jumping and you are shooting and you are high, you can maybe be at 330 with an arm, and then it's not possible for me to reach the ball. So I have to be in the angle where I have possibility to take the ball. So if I'm too far away out, the angle is too wide, and you will shoot over me. So it's a little bit of talking about the 3 dimensions. You have to find, with your goalkeeper, your individual goalkeeper, the right position in the deep of the play. Playing as a goalkeeper is not only playing in the side, it's also a lot of playing in the deep. So it's very also, normally, you can see today, most goalkeepers getting closer and closer to the line. Okay?